Hello everyone, this is Jayvanti here and welcome to my channel Art Melange. Today we are going to do a beautiful Mumbai by using watercolor as a medium. Now here you can see I am using 1-point perspective to create the most beautiful monument of Mumbai, the Gateway of India. This building is located near the western coast of India, and it's very beautiful. This monument is actually an inspiration for many artists and photographers. So one such photograph inspired me to do this watercolor painting. And this is rainy season right now here, and so in rains generally it is very inspiring to do watercolor. The moisture that you have in the air really helps getting beautiful watercolor painting. They say that watercolor painting is or watercolor medium itself is a non-forgiving medium. But after teaching for so many students and doing watercolor for number of years, I have come to a conclusion that if you handle the colors with a little care, they're not as scary as people, or as it appears to be. So watercolor paintings, first rule is always keep a very light drawing and don't do too much erasing. And here you can see after erasing I am using a soft big brush to clean up the paper, the residue basically of the eraser, because we tend to sweat and then our hands get sweaty. And with the sweaty hands, if you go to clear the paper, your paper may have, your paper may get spoiled. So just to avoid that, it's better that you use a big brush to clean up your paper with the eraser residue. So I've taken here ultramarine blue, and in that I've added very little of Prussian blue and a little of raw umber. So in rainy season you find that the sky becomes a little dull. It's not as fresh as you see it otherwise. And here I'm trying to create the effect of heavy rains, and that is the reason I'm showing a little greyish tone in the sky. So you had seen that I had used a spray bottle to moisten my paper and colors. It's the plain water that I had filled up in my spray bottle. So generally a simple rule if you follow for watercolor, that is when you begin painting, make sure that you use 80% of water and 20% of color. Here I am using a small piece of tissue paper to create a little cloudy effect in the sky. I am taking ochre yellow color, and again I can't take fresh ochre yellow because I am showing this monument in the rainy season. So there is a kind of grey tone or grey wash that you see in rainy season everywhere. So, and the same color I am using for this high tide, or this huge wave that is hitting the monument and the barricade which is there around the monument. You can see a thin white line I've left between the sky and the wave that I've created. So to create the wave I am using additive and subtractive method, where I first add color and then with my brush I try to take out the color. You can see here the same process. Okay, so these brushes what I got on Amazon, I'll give the link below in the description box. They're really amazing brushes. They hold good amount of water and the color, So that is what is the biggest requirement when you are doing watercolor. You require really good brushes which can withhold a lot of color or a lot of water. So the color that I had used for the waves, more or less the same color I have used for the monument. So here I am not mentioning the particular names of colors, or because every brand has different names and different colors available. You have to take a color which is closer to what color I am using. Okay, now here for the road, instead of doing grey color, I am using a little sap green, an ochre, and a little Prussian blue in it. So it will create a nice harmony in the entire picture. So if you use the colors which are already used, otherwise in your painting, you mix and create new shades with it. It creates a beautiful harmony. Also, you will find certain parts of my drawing I have left incomplete, like that the second boy, his palms I have not made, or his feet I have not made. So even the Gateway of India I have left half drawn, I have not drawn its base. The reason is this is I am using the wet and wet process of watercolor here. So this process is basically when your earlier color is wet, at that time only you put the new color. So the water does the job for you. It mixes the color beautifully on its own. And you can see how I've laid my palette. I have kept all warm colors on one side and all cool colors on the other side. It helps me to understand while painting. Okay, now what you can see on paper is I'm creating the effect of heavy rain. So when it is raining very heavily, you can't really see the water droplets. It's all like very foggy effect that's created in the atmosphere. So with a flat brush, I have made the strokes as you saw earlier, which gives an effect of rain. And though it's dull and dark, but to just add a little drama and to make it a little more colorful, I've added just a little tiny pinch of magenta to it. Now here let's complete the lower part of the painting, and here I am there was a white line that was created between the wave and the road. So the sharp lines don't really look good in watercolor painting. If you want your watercolor painting to look really fluid, lucid and really very beautiful, then you have to let go the colors. You have to allow the colors to flow into each other. So that is what it gives, that magical touch to your painting. Again, you can see here for coloring the clothes of these teens who are playing in that water or in that wave. So when they are near the water and in such heavy rain, their clothes will be drenched completely. So to get that effect, again, as I told you, I am using the colors from my painting itself. I am not bringing any different colors in the painting. I'm using the same colors like browns and the blues and the olive green, the sap green. Again, remember, keep washing your brush. If you keep washing your brush, it gives you, even your dull color will look fresh. And if you don't wash your brush, it gives you a very mucky effect, which doesn't make your work look very very magical, or the way watercolor is. It is very fascinating for me. I mean, I enjoy doing watercolor, especially in rainy season. I find it very therapeutic, watercolor painting. So, don't be scared, or don't think like, what if my painting gets spoiled? It really doesn't matter. No, you should try at least. That's important. And you never know, you might get a very beautiful painting if you keep trying. Well, so now is the time where we proceed ahead, and then instead of 20/80, we are going to take about 60 to 70% of color and 30% of water, because we are starting with the dark tones, or we can say detail work. So here to show the cavities which are there, the gates which are there in this particular structure. So to give those, and of course again, don't do too many details. Just catch a few shades and light, shadows especially, because the lights are already created earlier. So just add a little middle tones and dark tones to it. So you'll find for the dark tones and middle tones, I am using the dark green and the dark brown shade and Prussian blue. So for the boys also like to show their hair or little outline. So they're against the light that we are showing. So little silhouette kind of thing. So the shadows we'll have to add. Remember, this is almost 70 to 80% of color and 20% of water. Again, the dark tone in watercolor is not going to be as opaque as your poster colors. Remember that. So you can see I'm adding very little tiny details of the wave, but that you can't do everywhere. Then it will become too specific, which won't look so beautiful. Other most important thing that you have to remember is, when you're doing watercolors, or for that matter any painting, hold your brush little far. You all must be surprised like, how am I using white color in watercolor? Generally it is said that you should not use white color in the watercolor, but here I am using it as I want to show the splutter, of the waves. And in fact, even I was very skeptical earlier to use white color, and I don't remember any time removing white watercolor in my palette. But a student of mine, when she joined watercolor course here with me, she used to use a lot of white color in her artwork, and somehow I felt there's no harm using, there's no harm in using white color. Sometimes it gives nice effect, so for such purpose it really gives a very beautiful effect, certain effects where you can use white color and create that, but of course very little, just a pinch of it. And of course, when you are signing your artwork, make sure your sign should also be a part of your painting. It should not look like it is forcefully added to your work. So place it in your painting where it will enhance your painting. And I prefer, if I'm doing watercolor, then I sign with, I sign in the same medium, so using the finest brush. This last part of adding, tiny details with the fine brush looks very pretty. That is what adds to its beauty, So don't forget to add these small details to your painting. And we are almost done, with our artwork. So I really enjoyed creating this work, and it was beautiful. So you must have seen that I'm removing these tapes. I put these tapes to my paper because watercolor generally tends to, roll up your paper. So if you fix your paper with these tapes, it will remain in one place. So there it is. I hope you like my painting. Thank you.